What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the No Seria podcast, episode 16.
Damn.
Yo, 16. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Let's get it.
Get it.
So the other day I was thinking about like how, we saw that movie Black Panther, right? And they introduced Talocan. Neymar's little world underwater and shit.
Which was crazy.
And I was thinking about that one scene where the mermaids or whatever they were calling to those people and they were just jumping off the ship, remember?
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? So I guess some sort of like hypnosis.
Yeah, they were singing and I guess it was like luring them into the water.
So first of all, do you believe in mermaids? You think that actually exists? Or is just like for sure it ain't something's gonna happen? Because if you think about it, I kind of feel like it's a possibility the same way aliens could possibly exist. But aliens are just so far away we can't see them. But if you kind of think about it, the whole earth is like 70-something% water. So the chances of there's been airplanes that disappear, airplanes, and they haven't been found. Like, think about how big the ocean is, and they haven't even explored whatever percent of it. There's got to be something in there that we haven't seen. You see what I mean? So who's the people who see supposedly these mermaids?
I'm more likely sure the people that see these type of mermaids, or if it's actually real, would be the people who are pretty much always out there and fishing, like cargo boats, or the people hunting the fish all the time.
So when was the last time you were in the ocean, in the middle of the ocean?
I don't think ever.
So if you ask 100% of the population when's the last time they were in the middle of the ocean, I'm pretty sure 90% haven't been to the middle of the ocean. But that 10% is where the stories come from, which are fishermen who are the only ones who go into the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe cargo ships, but they don't really they're not out there catching stuff. They're just speeding.
Yeah.
Because cargo ships are pretty fast. You know what I mean? You don't know what you don't know until you're there. Like if you go on a spaceship and travel 10 light years away, you might see something compared to staying here and not seeing nothing. Because you won't see nothing.
Yeah.
But fishermen, think about it, bro. They're in the middle of the ocean for weeks, maybe at a time, right? You got to see something.
If you were to ask me, do you believe in mermaids? My answer would straight up be no. I don't believe in it. But, I mean, obviously, if there's proof, if there's videos, if there's this, it still will make me be pretty much like, is that real? Like, nowadays, there's so much photoshopping and all this screen shit. So it's like, I can't believe anything. But
yeah, but if you think about it, the humans, us, we're millions of years old. So it took millions of years for us to evolve into what we are now. There's fishes out there who are basically a mermaid without us, right?
Yeah.
Who's to say that whenever we first became a thing, we divided the same way there's different races, there's different, you know what I mean? There might have been a people who swimming so much. So there's a civilization, I forget where, but most of their time, most of their day is spent underwater because that's the only time that's the only way they can get food. They're like a third world country. So the only way they can get food is by fishing. So they obviously can't afford snorkels and all this stuff. So they literally deep dive and they stay there for most of the day because they're trying to catch fish. You're not going to keep going up. So they train their body to do that. But that specific type of people who live there they're like scientifically known to have this much more air capacity in their lungs because of evolution, because of doing it for so long. Who's to say that one certain people did that at the beginning and just after millions of years they became evolved to do that the same way as a fish? What about you, Lalo? You think they exist or what?
I'm pretty sure they exist. The only thing is that most of those tales or folks tales about people witnessing stuff like that comes from fishermen, right? Like it's people that have been out there, and if you think about it, like if you're out fishing, let's say you're deep sea fishing, there's no light anywhere, bro. There's it's pitch black. You can't see anything around you. So I mean, people say that whenever you're out there, you hear stuff, right? Like you end up hearing somebody either singing, you see, you just see stuff happening in the water that you just can't explain. And most of the time, these fishermen either are out there for so long that either they become crazy, they start thinking about stuff because they just, you know, they just don't have people to talk to sometimes or whatever. So it's either one of those things. Either they go crazy out there, or maybe they do witness some stuff that's kind of like, what the hell, you know, like. But if you ask me, do I believe it? It's not until I see proof. It's not until I see one where I'm like, okay, yeah, they're true. But it's actually good to actually think that they might be out there because, you know, if you think about it, like you said, I mean, we haven't explored the ocean. There's a lot that we haven't, you know, touched or anything. So I'm pretty sure there has to be something, man.
There has to be something. And going back to that's a good thing you're saying, because think about it. Try closing your eyes, right? And then act like you're drunk. Because that's the same motion in the boat. Oh, yeah. It's like if you're drunk for days. I'm pretty sure. And then just pitch silent. There's no noise out there.
I mean, there's the waves and stuff, you know.
But those are minimal. But when you're in a big boat, you can't really hear those things. Yeah. You're on top of a big boat, because they're obviously not going to go deep sea fishing with a freaking paddle boat. You're going to be elevated off the water. Unless there's a thunderstorm, obviously you're going to hear it. But imagine just, you know what I mean? You don't hear nothing, pitch black, and you're just waving for days or weeks. I'm pretty sure you're going to start getting into your head and start.
I mean, it's the same thing as just being left in a dark room. It's
exactly.
The same thing.
But that makes you think, how does somebody who's deaf and blind feel?
So if you're deaf, obviously you can't hear, but you can see stuff. And if you can't see stuff, you can hear stuff, right? So, but imagine like having to take away every sense, as far as like not being able to see, not being able to hear. You'll just be yourself in your thoughts, right?
That's what
like
I'm saying.
You'll go crazy.
You won't exist, I feel like.
There's studies of where people get left into a room, right, in a pitch black room, and you know the first couple hours you can actually be okay, right? It's not until you're like there for quite a while where you start like just, you know, your mind takes over. You start thinking about a bunch of stuff, and you just kind of in a way have no control towards your mind, right? And the same thing, I feel like it goes back to the fisherman, right? Whenever you're out there, and if you think about it, like if there's no light around you, it's like being in a pitch black room, right? And then now think about, like, let's say you're by yourself, you have nobody to talk to, and then everything's dark. You're gonna start hearing everything. You're start gonna think you're seeing stuff, and they're not there. I feel like it's all in your mind. You know, it has to be. But you know, I was looking into like how there's people that say that they've experienced what's called the void. So the void is kind of like where you start kind of like feeling something captivating, right? You start feeling like something's trying to lure you in, right? And you start thinking about how, man, you know, what would it be like if I was just to jump off, you know? And a lot of fishermen go through that, right? They go through
jump
that.
Off?
No, they just go through that kind of like a 20 to 10 second kind of little moment where they start thinking like, what if I just end it right now? You know, and it's weird because most of the people that have said that is people that say, hey, you know, I'm strong-minded. I qualify myself as strong-minded. But whenever I'm out there, I have these little 10 to 20 second moments where I just want to jump. And I can't be the only one, you know, going through that. And I read that in a Reddit, and most of the people were saying, hey, you know, I've had moments like that too. And it's weird. I thought I was the only one. And I felt like maybe it was just like in my head, maybe I'm going through some stuff. But most of them say, no, man, I've had that too. And it's just something that takes over you.
Yeah, man, that makes perfect sense, because if you kind of think about it, not to get scientific and stuff, but at night when you go to sleep, you're literally in your head. You drift and you go unconscious and you start dreaming. What if kind of the same thing happens when you're in that position where you get into your head and you start kind of daydreaming, right? And you get the real feel of life. You just start thinking about life, like, hey, you know what? Let me just jump and do it. Yeah, maybe that's the void. Maybe just you being inside of your head, because like I said, at nights you're not watching a movie and then you fall asleep. It happens when you're sleepy, but when you're trying to go to sleep, you lay down, you close your eyes and you just wait. Yeah, you get in your head, you get in your brain, you just probably start thinking about life. But like me, not to kind of get off topic, but my first job was selling cars, and I used to wake up early as fuck. And I used to grab my girl and go drop her off at school, and then drive to by Sharpstown Mall, and I'll be there from 8 to 8 every day. And then almost all the time, somebody will come at the middle of the night, and I'll have to stay with them. So I'll probably get home like around 9, 10, right? Mm-hmm. So that's all day right there. And I was making decent money, right? But what I'm trying to say is ever since I left that job, time for me has been precious as hell, dude. Like, I value my time. Like, if I go driving, I need to like drive fast because I'm wasting time driving. I need to go over there and come back. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I'm like right here, you know how I'm always like kind of like always in a hurry? Not really, but I'm always like, I'm really good on time as far as getting places on time, because to me, time is just so precious. And that was what, like 10 years ago that I was working there. But it's still with me, that feeling of time. Time is just, I don't want to waste any time. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like school, I want to do it now. I don't want to waste time and this and that. Like, it's crazy how the mind is crazy strong, dude.
It's funny that you say that, because like for me, it's similar to that, but it's waking up. I always, like, whenever I started working at my old job, waking up was the horrible type like thing. It was like waking up at 3 a.m. to get dressed up and then be there by 5 a.m. And that whole time you're like still half asleep, and you're still going through that like Monday thing, you know, mindset of, I gotta go to work. But ever since I started like working there, I saw everybody around me, and it was like, I felt like everybody was just horrible. I felt like everybody was just going through this, going through that. And I would look at that, and then one day I ended up getting into my new job. And ever since then, every time I wake up, I wake up in a good mood. I wake up, you know, like, fuck it, you know, it's just work.
Because your mind remembers every morning what you went through, and you appreciate it. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's crazy. That's how having kids is. Your mind knew that you're not a just whatever type of person. You know, you have something to go to every night, and you have to do good for it. You know what I mean? So your mind is just automatically, there's times where you do some stupid stuff, but most of my days it involves I don't know where I'm going with that. Okay.
Have you guys ever been in a situation where you're like, man, I don't even know why I'm thinking about this, or like you feel like, man, am I going like a little crazy or something like that?
I think all the time.
Yeah.
I think I would honestly, not to like want to do it, but I think I am classified as bipolar, and my girl too is too, because there would be times where I would talk to myself and be like, damn, Daniel, why do you do that, dude? Like, I'll be driving, next thing you know, I'll just scream from the top of my lungs, like, get the fuck out of the way. And as soon as I say that, I'm like, come on, Daniel, you had to do that.
I feel like everybody's like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say everybody, but I've felt like that too. There's so many times.
I talk to myself so much, bro. Like, bro, come on, bro. Why do you feel like this? Like, why are you in a bad mood? Nothing has happened to you. There's no reason for you to be in a bad mood. Yeah. But you're in a bad mood, and a few minutes later, you're back in a good mood, and you're in your head like, what happened, bro? What the fuck? Like, why are you in a good mood? What happened earlier? Like, I'm talking to myself in my head. And then I'll get home and actually be in a bad mood. And my head, I'm like, why are you in a bad mood? Like, because me and her are kindred spirits, bro. We are exactly the same person. Like, out of anywhere, and it could be on a Tuesday afternoon, out of nowhere, I'd be like, damn, I want some wings. And she was like, man, I was just thinking that. You know what I mean? Like shit like that.
You guys are made for each other or something.
Yeah, bro. Like, it's mostly because after 10 years,
you start becoming the same person.
The same exact person, bro. We're both exactly the same person. You know that when I'm mad, don't mess with me. I know when you're mad, I'm not going to mess with you. Yeah. And it's crazy, but going back to mermaids.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, we've been going everywhere, all over the place, but I think it's good. Like, we touched on this topic, and it's good to kind of like explore that, because we don't really like go into those type of things where, you know, lately, I don't know why, I've been having kind of like moments where I'm like thinking about, man, my mind kind of takes over and starts thinking like, am I not where I want to be? Like, am I you know, am I getting stuck where I'm at, either with life, with my job, you know, in any situation? I just feel like, am I just settling? I just feel like maybe it's a kind of like one of those midlife crisis. You know, I just turned 30. So I'm thinking about everything. I'm thinking, am I happy? Am I Oh, not as far as like being in a relationship or anything like that. I'm just talking about as far as financially, secure. Am I good? Do I need to like work harder to become, something else, or get another job, or like a bunch of these things start coming to my mind, and sometimes I start thinking like, man, there's too much pressure sometimes. Like it's so much that goes into my mind where, I kind of have to like calm myself down, and I'm like, you should be happy with what you have. You should be grateful. You should be, you're not in a bad place. There's other people that are worse and stuff. But it sucks to still have that time where you're just not satisfied.
I think that's just human nature. Like, have you ever, I don't want to get off topic again, but have you ever seen a commercial where it shows just a bunch of people walking in the same direction, wearing a white shirt and a tie, and next one of them just turns around and starts walking the opposite? Like they're breaking that routine.
Yeah.
I feel like what makes somebody successful is the fact that they don't pick up $1 and say, yeah, that's cool, and let me go and make it last a year.
Yeah.
What makes somebody successful is they grab that $1 and they try their best to make it into $2. So what I'm saying is, if you are in a job that pays you this much, you're able to do this with it, and you're happy, but you have those feelings, I feel like you should always try your best to flip the page and go into the next one. Let's say you feel that way. Oh, okay, let me do better. The point is to get better and not get comfortable. Comfortable is the reason why a lot of people stay where they're at, because they're comfortable. But the point is to break that cycle and keep going up, right? So for example, I don't like my job, or I do like my job, but let's say I feel like I deserve more. Let me go apply for another job that would pay me more. There's no point in searching. You'll find another job. Let's say a few more years from now, you feel the same way. Okay, I need to go back to school so I can get a little bit more. You know what I mean? You're hungry. You want to break that cycle of getting comfortable and staying where you're at and just keep walking that same direction for the rest of your life. Like when I was working outside, there was people there that were working 40 years, bro, doing the same thing that I'm starting doing. And obviously he's getting paid a little bit more because after 30 years, 30 times, maybe 30 cents a day, a raise a year, you get some money. But if you just stop getting comfortable, go to school, come back, get a better job, and then just keep going, flipping.
I just feel like it's not like that for everybody, though.
It's
right?
not like that because of the mind, right? People get comfortable and they don't want to do that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to school. You want to go to school? Nobody wants to go to school, bro. But if it's going to help, we might as well do it because we have time, right?
Yeah.
Well, some time, and that's all you need. But I feel like just you getting comfortable is what, and you're having those feelings because you're comfortable where you're at. You're comfortable as fuck, but you're making enough money. But you're going to school because you want something better. So you're already kind of flipping that page. And hopefully once you get to that better place, you won't have those feelings no more.
Also, the people that you hang out with, right? Maybe you look at other people that are around you and they're successful, they're going the right way. And then you look at yourself and you feel like, man, I'm stuck here. You know?
Yeah, I think it's the same way when let's say you go in an ice cream shop and you go in an ice cream shop and you have $1, I have $1, and we both pay for an ice cream. But when I see your ice cream, you have 3 scoops with sprinkles and I have 1 scoop. Your instant mind's gonna be like, damn, why the hell did he get 3 scoops and we pay the same amount of money? Your mind automatically compares itself to the other person that's in the same similar situation as you are, and instantly tries to like hate on it and jealousy and all these feelings, you know what I mean? When in reality, you can just eat your ice cream and keep going. But it's just the human mind.
Or you can look at the other one and be like, oh, what did he do?
Exactly.
And then go and start.
That's what I mean by breaking that comfortableness.
But I'm not necessarily talking about just being secure as far as money wise. I'm talking about just like bunch of stuff that you have going on. For example, let's just say in my case, my personal case, right? I want to be able to be doing good at work, right? That's one thing. You want to do your best. You want to be able to like, get valued and make sure other people see how much work you're doing, right? And then also you want to be able to like be a good son to your mom. So you want to go and have a good relationship with your parents. You want to have a good relationship with your brother. So you try to make time for them. You try to do the same thing with your girlfriend. You spend time with them and everything, you have to do. Then you have to make sure that you go to school, like how we're going to school and stuff like that. And then, just this thing that we have going on here, everything that kind of piles up, and it's kind of like, Like, can I, am I doing enough? You know, am I good enough? You know, you start thinking about a bunch of stuff like that. And it's like, I wonder if it's just like something that I'm going through, or is this normal? You know what I mean? I start thinking about stuff like that.
I think it's just one of those things that you can't see your grade that you're getting. Like, you know how one class we see an 80. Okay, we're doing good. There's no grade for it. So you don't know. So you're just staying wondering, hey, am I doing good? You don't know. But I'm in the same boat you're in.
I don't even know how you do it.
But it's just, and I do think about those things, but I have way more other things to think about. That's like kind of way down here. You know
and that's kind of where it all leads up to. Like, the thing is, we don't have enough time, right? Like, we don't have enough time. We get to the house probably like, you know, 5, let's say 5, right? And we start doing everything we have to do. By the end of the day, when we have a little bit of time for each other, for us, it's probably like 2 hours out of the day, and we have this every single week.
Yeah, every day, bro.
You know, it sucks, man. I don't even know how you do it, man.
I mean, I feel like that's the reason why we want to do this. Because I mean, if you really think about it, I feel like anybody out there does not like their 5 to 9 or 5 to whatever time they work. Nobody likes it, but they have to do it. It's part of life, and everybody has that rat race that they got to go through. But it's just a matter of fact of you breaking it and just saying, hey, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn this. I'm going to learn that. And I feel like you do that a lot. You learn this and learn that. It's just the fact that maybe you give up too easy. Maybe, you know, you get pressured a lot, maybe, or something. But I mean, I'm too young to say it, but I would say your time and the stuff that you're doing, you should cherish it, right? Cherish it right now, because sooner or later, maybe you're going to have kids, and all that time is just going to go away because now you're going to have kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, my time, the thing that's in my head is being a good dad. That's it. That's on top of everything. As far as I'm doing that good job, which I think I am, because I mean, I go home every day to them. You know what I mean? I'm thankful for it. But that's the only thing that's in my head, if I'm doing a good job at being a dad. After that is the financial part of it. Like, you know, in this case, I'm trying to buy a new house and I want to move into my mom's. I don't know if I told you that. I want to move into my mom's, but those things I have to sacrifice in order to get. So I'm trying to break that comfortableness of me being in my house laying down, break it, try to get another house, put this one for rent, and just keep kind of elevating up. That's what I'm trying to say, to break that cycle. You know what I mean? Don't be comfortable.
I'm sure sometimes you got to set yourself back.
Do I want to move back to my mom's house? Hell no.
But you got to set yourself back just to be able to go forward.
An investment is always a sacrifice. Now for a better future. Always, which is what it is now.
Yeah.
Invest, move into my mom, save some money.
Yeah.
Wait for the economy to get better, because right now it's real messed up. Could buy another house, put this one for rent, get money, and then do it again. And I was doing that, but times got hard and I had to sell my other house. And you know what I mean? You never know what happens, but going back to mermaids. That's crazy, bro.
It's crazy how you go on a tangent and you just like forget where you even started. Yeah, I was reading also, like, there's some fishermen that talk about, like, whenever they're out there, they see some lights coming out of the ocean, like out of nowhere. And it's weird because, like, those lights that come out of the ocean, they don't have any noise or anything. So I was thinking, like, you know how we saw the movie Black Adam?
Yeah.
And you know how they have that underwater kind of like facility?
Okay,
like,
yeah.
What if we have something similar?
So you're saying we're the ones who are coming out of the water?
Yeah, it could be, like, you know, because you don't know, Area 51, it can't be the only secret kind of like base, right? Like secret facility.
I mean, where else is the best place to put a base?
Exactly,
right?
bro.
And it's, I mean, if you think about it, it's just engineering. It's possible, right?
It is. I mean,
have an underground place.
Yeah, and who knows, man? Like, I'm pretty sure, bro. Like, I mean, the government's hiding some stuff, you know, and
it's okay. I mean, I would hide it too.
Yeah, it's for our convenience to. It's better for us to not know.
Exactly.
Because if you think about it, like, a lot of people's beliefs revolves around what they've been taught all their lives, right? So imagine if you were to just find out that everything that you thought was this is not it.
Exactly.
Everybody will just
it'd
be chaos everywhere.
Let's say they say, oh yeah, we did find aliens. They're underground. We have their UFO, and they telling us that the crater is this, and the world's gonna go into chaos. Why would they do that?
Which is why you have history class. History class is for you. And you think about, like, what, you know, you used to get taught back in the days might have changed already. You don't know, because you're not in middle school, you're not in high school anymore. So what they're teaching these days might be different than what we got taught back then.
Yeah, and then there's been revisions to the history books.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Everybody, all generations get taught one thing because of how it kind of benefits that generation.
Exactly,
you know
bro.
what I mean?
Exactly. I saw a TikTok, and I don't know how real it is, but it was a Corden. I think it's Corden, the talk show host.
Yeah.
He brought this guy in, and he had a whiteboard, a small whiteboard, right? And he gave one to the whole audience of like 100 people, and he had like 5 of them. He says, "Okay, this is what I want y'all to do. I'm gonna draw. I want y'all to draw a circle, and I want you to draw a simple drawing inside. Just simple. Let me give you an example." And he's like, "I want you to draw something like this, like a Superman, and I want you to draw this, maybe a cross, something simple. Draw this mountain. It's kind of messed up, but draw this mountain, and then draw this other thing, right?" And then he's like, "All right, you, James, draw something, but don't let me see it." And he draws it. He's like, "All right, put it in your desk." He's like, "All right, now I want everybody in the audience to draw anything, but don't show nobody and keep it to your chest." And then everybody drew it, right? And he's like, "All right, you in the berry bag, show me what you did." He turns it around, it was a star. He's like, "All right, you over there." He turns around, it was a star. And then he's like, "All right, everybody turn it around." Everybody had a star. And then he's like, "All right, James, show me what you had." And he had a star. He's like, and he was explaining, the reason why everybody drew a star is because I somehow influenced you to drawing a star. When I showed you the example, it wasn't a Superman sign. All you saw was an S. When I showed you this cross, all you saw was a T. So your brain automatically makes you think that and makes you do that. So it's so easy to brainwash 100 people. How easy it is to brainwash a whole world.
The whole world.
TikTok, bro.
That just blew my mind.
They say China's TikTok is totally different than ours because ours, they filter it to only show you stupid stuff to keep you dumb.
Yeah.
And that's why China, they don't, you know what I mean? All this conflict with it and this and that. And I mean, dude, you watch Andrew Tate, right? Like me and Ivan were so big on watching him, not necessarily because we believe in everything that he says, but he talks about the Matrix. He talks about how you should wake up from the Matrix. They're trying to like control you. He talks bad about, like you don't really need school and how all these kids are getting taught a bunch of stuff that's unnecessary, and which is why he probably got canceled, right? Exactly, a lot of people are saying he got canceled. But if you think about it, is he just saying the truth and they just want to quiet him down? He's that one guy walking away from the crowd. Yeah. That's showing the truth.
And then the same thing, you're talking about manipulation. The whole media is manipulating these females and stuff to hate him. When in reality, he's just saying what he wants to say. It's like if I was to say, man, my favorite color is blue, and everybody loves red. And everybody's gonna go against me because I like the color blue. It's kind of like a left and a right type of situation. And for him, it's more like he's saying stuff like, "Oh, I wouldn't let a girl drive my Bugatti." And everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, so you don't like for girls, you don't trust girls," and all this type of stuff. When in reality, he probably had an experience where like a girl crashes a really expensive car and just left and didn't pay for it, and that's why he says, "Oh, if a guy crashed my car, he would actually be like, 'Oh, my bad, I'm sorry, let me pay for it.'"
It's the truth, stuff like but that. You shouldn't say the truth because it's wrong in our minds as we were taught. And he's saying the truth. But a perfect example of what I was saying, I don't know if you've seen this movie, I forget the name of it. It was Will Smith.
Oh, and
Pursuit of Happiness?
No, I know you're talking about the one that they're in the football.
Exactly.
They're making a bet.
They're making a bet, and the bet involves a number, right? So they do this whole crazy thing
before that.
So the guy who is supposed to a football player, right?
Yeah.
He, as soon as he gets on the elevator, he hears the music. The music has a specific number of. I forget how it was, but everything is the same number. The song was exactly that many numbers times that he did that. So for some reason, your mind just automatically counts them, and he thinks, "Oh, 52." So then he goes and he sees the number 52. There's 52, that 52, just out of like subliminal.
Yeah.
So when he gets there, he says 52. But he did all that to manipulate him. But it wasn't obvious. It was just some small stuff. Maybe there's a bunch of roses and there was exactly 52 of them. but
Yeah.
your mind automatically sees 52 of them.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. I know.
You never seen that movie?
I know which one you're talking about. The one where he kind of hustles people.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's funny, bro, because I've seen other videos where like these guys end up kind of like getting next to somebody. Next to, you know, they've already took in their watch, their belt, their
Sleight of
this.
hand?
Yeah. Sleight of hand or whatever you want to call it. I think it's called, I'm pretty sure it's that. But it's weird because like those people know how to, like you said, manipulate you to not tell or to not be able to pay attention to what he's doing.
Because what do they do? Exactly. What do they do? They say, hey, look. And while you're looking over there, they grab this. Same with the government. Hey, look over there.
Yeah.
They're grabbing your money.
Yeah.
You don't think that's what happens whenever like you see all this like, oh, Kim Kardashian with Pete Davidson, and in reality behind that, everybody's gonna pay attention to that because it's like a big news in social media. But then behind that, there's something going on. So, and then let's just say it fixes, and now this relationship is so fake or whatever. Yeah. I'm just saying, you know, obviously, I don't know.
Yeah, because the thing is, like a lot of famous people tell stories about how, hey, once you reach a certain fame, you get like knocks on your door. You know, you get people trying to reach you to be able to be kind of like do stuff. And obviously, like if you accept some of that stuff, you're not gonna be telling those stuff, right? But the people that don't go and do that stuff say, hey, yeah, I've gotten people that kind of contact me, and you know, they ask me, hey, if I want to do this or that, and you know, I don't do it, you know. But what I'm trying to say is that whenever you become famous, you might be one of those what do you call them, like
influencer. You have a word to actually say something that's going to affect more than one person or 5 people in your family.
Yeah. So
you're a threat.
For example, let's say I'm the president, right? And we're trying to like have this going on right here, but we already have these people in a group, or we have a list of people that if we want to, we can distract everybody and make them pay attention to them while we get away with this right here. Yeah. And like you said, man, like whenever you're famous, you know, there's little scandals, little, you know, stuff that goes on that you're like, to us, we're so like, as humans, we're so like, you know, wanting to know what's going on. And it might not even be important, but it's a distraction for us to not pay attention to other stuff. Yeah. That's why a lot of people say, hey, you know, it's weird that we're all like, you know, paying attention to this thing. What are they hiding? Like what's going on that we don't know?
Okay, well, let me tell you this. Okay, let's say guy's rich, he has a kid. Guy's real rich because he's a smart financial guy. He knows everything about taxes. He knows everything about business. What do you think the chances of his son being successful is?
I'm pretty sure it's 9 out of 10, right? Like most of the time.
9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Really? Why?
Because they're able to put him in the position that they want to.
Okay,
they have connections,
networks. So what do you think his job's going to be when he grows up?
Probably the same as his dad.
Chilling, whatever. Imagine if the government decided one day, hey, school is free, and we're going to, instead of high school and all this, we're going to teach you about taxes. We're going to teach you how to be successful. What do you think is going to happen?
Everybody's going to be rich.
And who's going to do these crappy jobs?
Nobody.
Exactly. If you kind of look at the chain of companies, name one big company, any big company.
Let's say Chevron or something.
Chevron. All of these are under one person.
Yeah.
And then all of those are under another person. And then so on. It's a pyramid. Food chain. At the very top is companies that, have you ever heard of BlackRock? Have you ever heard of, there's like 2 of them, BlackRock and somebody else. Their network is trillions and trillions of dollars because Walmart borrows money from this guy and that guy borrows money from that guy. And then all that money is at the end of the day is coming from this guy. So these are the people who, if you have trillions of dollars, you basically run the world. Yeah. What do you want to do? Make more money and keep it stable. And why the hell would you do that? Yeah. You want to control the people, and the best way to do it is by all these subliminal little things. TikTok, hey, introduce it, brainwash them, stop them from going to school, and make them do these dumb TikTok dance instead of going to school. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. Everything you just said was pretty much a food chain.
Exactly,
like
bro.
in animals.
Exactly.
A freaking caterpillar can't eat a lion. So that's why there's levels to it.
Whatever.
But if
It's because I had it in my mind, but it just didn't come out.
it makes sense, because if you think about it, bro, when you go to downtown, right, you see all these buildings. Who owns them?
Yeah.
Right? You don't know who owns them. You start thinking, okay, well, everybody, for example, us, we're employees to a company, right? And that person that's on top, he reports to some other person, and that person reports to some other person, and it keeps going. But you also think about like the person that gets placed in those positions of power, they get chosen by people, right? Like they're not just gonna like let just anybody in.
Yeah.
If you even think about it, most of the people that are in charge in a position of power, they probably are related. They probably are family. They're probably like, it's generations of people that been in that position, bro.
Some girl literally just figured out that 49 out of something, this many, I think only one president in our history has not been related.
Oh really? Yeah, I think I heard that too.
Yeah,
even to the point where Obama was, right?
Like every president we have ever had, but one was somehow related.
Yeah.
What?
It's crazy, bro.
It's crazy.
I think that's kind of where I was going with that.
That's what I was saying.
That's because a president, he's the head of a country, but to know that just not anybody gets chose to be president, everything has to be in some way rigged.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean? They know who they want to be in power. It's insane, bro. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna be the end of episode 16. We went all over the place. But hopefully you guys still enjoy the video. If you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can keep up with our content. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Adios.
Yeah, man, it's because the brain, dude, is just, it's hard to comprehend how crazy the brain is. Like, did I tell you about my dream that I had just last night?
The one, yeah, I think you did.
Explain.
You told us just like let the audience know, I guess, because that was crazy.
This just happened last night. So I was dreaming, and next thing you know, I'm kind of get a little bit aware of me dreaming in my dream, but before I can do anything, I get scared. I'm like, damn, dude, I get this presence. Like I'm not supposed to be here. Like, this is wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody's gonna come up. So my body wakes up and I get into a sleep paralysis. Like I'm frozen. I'm like, oh shit. Right. But then I hear the doors on my left, and I always leave it open just in case one of my daughters wants to come in. I hear like a big, like growl, like double growl. And then I wake up again out of the dream. And so now I'm awake. Right. And I'm just like, damn, what happened, dude? After that happened, I try to go back to sleep, right? But when I kind of fell asleep, it was just pitch black. Just pitch black. And I'm just like wondering what happened. Like, where am I? What am I doing here? And I can't wake up. I can't just make myself wake up. So it felt for so long, dude. I was just there like in pitch black, wondering where am I? What happened? And I kind of started drifting a little bit to the point where I don't know if I'm sleeping anymore. I don't know where I'm at. Like, I forgot that I'm sleeping, and I'm just like trying my best to remember, because it felt like months had passed by, and I'm trying my best to remember who am I? So I'm just doing these little noises to myself. Like I'm reciting all my kids' names, like Ashley, and then I'll be like, oh, damn, what was her name? I'll be like, Ashley, and I'm just like this the whole time, like damn, I'm forgetting.
So you're kind of like in a coma or something like that.
I'm kind of like in a void, like you were saying.
Okay.
I'm kind of in a void where my brain is starting to kind of drift away from my memory. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of aware of it. So I'm trying my best to try to grab it and bring it back. So I'm doing all these exercises to try to keep myself from losing my memory, right? And then it just felt for so long, dude. I was there for so freaking long, and I was just like, to the point where I'm just like trying to remember my name, and I'm just like, and I just kind of like let go, right? And then next thing you know, I open my eyes, and I see nurses. I see two nurses, two lady nurses and a doctor in the middle, and the bed's here, and there's a TV, but the TV looked like old box TV.
Okay.
In the corner, and then it was playing a commercial of like a, not a commercial, but like a news anchor, a lady who was saying, yeah, it's been this long since Daniel was shot point blank. He was at a gas station filling up, and some guy just came behind him and shot him, and the killer's trial is set to start in 2 weeks, and this and that. And I'm just like, what the? And I wake up. That's when I wake up. I'm like, damn.
So it's like a reincarnation type of thing.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, right?
So what I think happened is my brain, I died, and my brain recycles itself to somebody else. But throughout that 9-month period where you're growing, you're forgetting. You going crazy. The same if you put somebody 9 months probably inside of a dark room, like we were talking about, they go crazy. Yeah, I think that's what happened to me. I was just going crazy and losing my memory. I was just those two pieces just became the whole brain just resetted itself and then became